I'm talking about young shakes. Chicago 2 representatives. Jesse James. And this is for my city.
Hey, I do it for my city. I don't plan on going down. If he think I'm going down, then he gon' first round for my city. I ain't never.
Hello, this is Lacey Rice with Rice Fan Group talking to Coach Tony Sands in Radcliff, Kentucky.
Yes.
He's brought a football camp to a town called Radcliff that most of you probably never heard of. And he is a trainer extraordinaire, has trained many celebrities, many top athletes, Hall of Famers, and he's been at it for a long time. Also, he's a college football legend out of Kansas. And so, thank you very much for giving us this time, Coach Sands. And it's great meeting you. Why did you choose Radcliff for your camp?
Well, Coach Purnell had been reaching out to me for a while and asked me would I come to Radcliff to do a camp. He saw my camps from all over the country. Like I said, last week I was in Texas. When I go back to South Florida, I got 3 or 4 camps that I got to do that'll go for about 6 weeks. 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening. So he had been hitting up and saying, please, I'd like you to bring it to Radcliff. So I flew out to Radcliff just to survey the area to see what we could do, if we could possibly do something. Once I got here, I went around to some of the high schools, went around to some of the places and looked at them and said to myself, hey, we can do something. And at that point, we put it together and it was star-studded. I wanted to make sure that I bring out some of the best to ever play this game to Radcliff, to leave a legacy here in Radcliff that can't be matched.
Okay. And Coach, you also mentioned that you surveyed the area.
Yes.
You chose not to do it at a high school,
Correct.
but on the municipal field.
Yes.
Why did you make that choice?
Because I wanted to do it right where these kids' dreams started. Their dreams doesn't start at the high school. It starts right here at this park. If their dreams are to come true, we're going to start it where their dreams are got to start. Listen, this is what they play. This is what they practice. Why would we take them somewhere else that they're not accustomed to? Let your dreams start, and you start planting the seeds.
Okay. Well, Coach, when you were in college, you set the FBS record for
Yes.
rushes in the game with 58. In that game, you also set at that particular time the rushing yards at 396 yards.
Yes.
Did you, when you were these kids' age, did you ever imagine being able to do something like that?
I never imagined doing that, but I imagined being great at what I do. I train hard. I train like no other. I always wanted to be the best at whatever I do, whether it's on the football field, in the classroom, in the life, in business. Everything I did, I wanted to become the best. So I knew in order to become the best, I had to outwork everyone. When they're sleeping, I had to outwork them. When they're working, I had to outwork them. It's like the 5 P's to success. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. I believe in that wholeheartedly, and I teach that to my kids. So, listen, I had to become the best, but I had to work like the best.
Okay. Now, if I'm not mistaken, you graduated from St. Aquinas High School,
Yes.
didn't you?
That's St. Thomas Aquinas. That's
Oh, yeah.
the number 1 high schools in the country, year in and year out. Yes, I did.
Okay. Now, how did that prepare you for not only life in college, but life after college?
When I say life in college, at St. Thomas, I could have went to Dillard High School, I could have went to Board Anderson, Ely. Those were our predominantly black institutions when it comes to high school in our area. What it prepared me for going to St. Thomas is how to deal with the elements outside of my community, how to socialize, how to communicate with other ethnic groups, and how to prepare. Because George Smith at St. Thomas Aquinas prepared me for the college life, because what we were doing at St. Thomas is what they're doing at the college level now. So it prepared me to a great deal. When I got to Kansas, some guys they weren't even lifting weights year round. They weren't even playing spring ball. Well, we were playing spring ball. We were lifting weights. So it prepared me wholeheartedly for the game at the next level. And that's why I chose the University of Kansas, because when I chose the University of Kansas, at the time I visited Florida State, down from the University of Miami. I was being recruited by Miami. But I wanted to go to an institution and become the greatest. I didn't want to become one of the great. I wanted to become the greatest. When they talk about that university, they talk about me. That's the legacy that I want to leave at an institution and go on beyond. And I was able to accomplish that. Every time that I set out during the off season, that's why I tell people, champions are made during the off season, not during the season. It's how you work in the off season is going to prepare you for the season. And it goes back to the question that you asked me. Did I dream of that? No. But I prepared. So when that time comes, I will be ready for it. And if you don't prepare for it, when that opportunity comes, you're not able to capitalize on it. So I prepared, because to be able to carry the ball 58 times in one game, you got to be in shape. And I prepared myself for that to come true. And when it came true, I was ready to go. I wasn't even tired. I was still ready to go because I was so hyped. And not only that, when I went to the University of Kansas, when Kansas had a winning season in over 10 years. The day that I walked out of the University of Kansas was our first winning season. And we did it against our arch rival, the University of Missouri.
And that's who you set those records against as well.
Yes.
So that had to be a sweet day for you.
That it was very sweet. You do something like this against your arch rival. It wasn't something against one of the smaller tier. That was a Big 8 school. And that, you got to understand, people, the Big 8 is the Big 12 now, with the Southwest Conference into it. So we were able to accomplish. You're talking about going against Oklahoma, Nebraska, Colorado, year in and year out, playing the University of Miami. These were the teams that I had the pleasure to play up against and be able to put up big numbers.
Now, who are some of the athletes who you've trained over the years?
Oh, wow. I mean, the list goes on and on. You're talking about the Michael Irvin, you're talking about the Warren Sapp, you're talking about the Patrick Peterson, you're talking about the Al Harrises, you're talking about the Antonio Browns. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. If you go to my Instagram, you'll get a chance to see, not only do I train NFL guys, I train NBA, I've trained, as a matter of fact, Olympic swimmers, you name it, they come to us and we get them right. You can see out here today, I brought some of my staff with me, my number one guy, my second in command, which is my son, Deshaun. He's coming out, he understands the business. I sent him out, they're doing the warm-up portion of today's event. So we came to Radcliff to leave a legacy that will not, as I repeat, will not be matched. When you can get two Hall of Famers like this, when you're talking about one of the best defensive linemen that ever played the game, the quarterback killer himself, Mr. Warren Sapp, and you're talking about who? The playmaker number 88. Three-time Super Bowl champion, both of them are Hall of Famers. Listen, and both of them are Super Bowl champions. You couldn't get a better lineup than that. And they're going to get out and mingle with kids. It's not something where they just stay at a distance. They're going to mingle with these kids today. So we're going to have some fun.
Okay, and that does make a big difference.
Yes.
And it's kind of wild that this is happening here in Radcliff and Kentucky.
And this is what when Purnell said, he said, man, this is different. Like, it's different to have this type of thing happening here in Radcliff. Because we're so used to it down in South Florida. But to hear that, that means special that you're able to be a part of that.
Oh, yeah. And so, now this is, I think we're calling it calling it your football camp.
Mm-hmm.
But what is your actual company's name?
My actual company name is Tony Sands Sandsational Strength and Fitness.
Okay, okay. And as you say, you train athletes from various sports.
Yes.
And at the elite level.
Yes.
Okay. And before we wrap this up, can you give us your impression of the Radcliff community? Because this is not the first time that you've been to Radcliff.
Well, it's not the first time, but it reminds me of the University of Kansas, Lawrence, Kansas, where I played football. There's a family-oriented community, a community that loves their children and wants to do the best for their kids. So, listen, this is what I raise my kids in, this type of community, so I love it.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Coach Sands, for this interview, and we really appreciate it. And
thank you.
Welcome to Radcliff.
Glad to be here.
This is Lacey Rice with Rice Fame Group talking to Radcliff Mayor J.J. Duval about the Tony Sands football camp that was brought to Radcliff, Kentucky. bringing several Hall of Famers and former pro football players. How you doing today, Mr. Mayor?
Doing good. Beautiful day. It's early in the morning, about 9:30, so we're getting ready to kick this thing off.
Okay. Well, how did this camp materialize in Radcliff, Kentucky?
So we really got to give thanks to the Radcliff Hurricanes and Dr. Coffey and her husband, Pernell. They and their staff and team and coaches really have worked together to put this on today. And Pernell had a relationship with Tony Sands, who's a celebrity trainer down in Florida, and asked him to come up. Had an opportunity to meet with him a few months ago. Great guy, has a lot of recognitions for himself. Tony did. He played at the University of Kansas. He went on to play for Arizona Cardinals, and then really got into coaching after that. And so he's been able to bring in some of his people, which is Warren Sapp, Hall of Famer, Super Bowl champ, of course, and Michael Irvin, 3-time Super Bowl champ. So to have them here in Radcliff and being a part of this, and the kids and everything behind us, it's just an awesome day here for us in Radcliff.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And so besides that connection with Coach Pernell, he did mention some other factors as to why he wanted to do it here at Dolly Field versus doing it at one of the local high schools.
Yeah. Dolly obviously was our recreational area. Obviously as teams get bigger and grow, but for us in Radcliff, this is our football field. It's always been our home field. And so to have it here just really shows that he supports and they support our community, and we're supporting them back.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. And we hope everything goes well today and that this is an annual event.
Hopefully. Go you. All right.
All right, I just want to make sure y'all was awake this morning. They say you got hurricanes on your chest and you make a lot of noise, but we also pay attention. All right? Right. So me and Mike here, I just want to thank everybody in Radcliff for making this possible. Not too many times I get this many smile faces in front of me. So I just got a message for y'all that, because I'm from a dirt road with no cable television, no air conditioning. It's called Plymouth, Florida. That's where I started. Small, just like Radcliff. But the world is your canvas, and I want you to paint with bold strokes. You understand what I'm saying? I want you to paint with bold strokes, because if you've ever seen a Picasso, it looks like an 8-year-old painting, but it's a masterpiece. So I want you to be able to paint your masterpiece and paint with bold strokes. We all know the vowels, right? A-E-I-O-N-U. Give me a word with all of them in it. Education. It's the foundation that will take you everywhere you want to go, anywhere you want to go on God's green earth. You understand what I'm saying? You go out and you seek education. Your teachers, your parents, your coaches, they all have a little something to give you, I guarantee you. You take a little piece of all of them. Hey, back there. Take a little piece of all of them. And you try. And you have a commitment. And you wake up every morning and you say, I'm either going to get better or I'm going to get worse. It's on you. Make a choice. Make a choice. Make a choice and live life with a purpose. Hey, that's what you have to do. Stop. Stop moving. I'm glad you're getting the message. Everybody with me? All right. Education will drive you and take you wherever you want to go on God's green earth. Trust in it every morning. Make yourself a little better. You got me? Yes, sir. All right. How do we start every morning making ourselves better? You know how you start? You know how you start? How do you start? No. Not about eating breakfast. Well, you gotta get up. But you gotta start your day the right way. You gotta start it with your mind made up that you're going to get better today. Warren said it. Talked about each day you gotta get better. The other side of that is each day you decide not to get better or not to do anything at all, you actually get worse because somebody else got better. Today we came out here for you to get better. We tracked many a mile for you. There are people in this community that thinks the world of you. You got an opportunity. What are you prepared to do to repay them? All the people that are poured into you as young men. This is what it's about. What can you do to repay them? How many people poured into this journey? How many people helped him get where he is? His mom, his dad, his whole family. All of your family is they're here. They're here to try to help you get to be the best you can be. We here, these coaches, they're here to reach down inside each of you kids and try to help pull out your kids. That's what we're here to do. If you're a young lady, we'll pull out that queen. But we gonna pull out kings and queens out of this group. All it takes is each morning for us to set our mind and we're going to get better. You see what I'm saying? And we are going to get better. You got your whole future in front of you. And you're writing the future. Starting today. We're going to start writing it, putting it together, figuring out what we're going to do, and then we're going to accomplish it. Last thing I want to tell you. This is the greatest game in the world. You know why it's the greatest game in the world? Because it takes everyone on the team to win. It's unlike basketball. We're watching the playoff where LeBron James takes the ball from one rim and dunk it on the other. He has individual isolated success. He does that all by himself. It's not like baseball where you watch Aaron Judge sit at home plate, bam, and slap a home run. Individual, isolated success. He does it all by himself. Nobody helping him. It's not like golf where you watch Kepler or Tiger Woods drop a punt and win all by himself. Individual, isolated success. It doesn't happen in the game of football. You can't do anything all by yourself in the game of football. It functions on the same level. You can't do anything all by yourself. And with your family, you can't do anything all by yourself. In business, corporation, and organization, football is the beginning and the learning ground for you to be successful in all parts of life. Unlike anything else, it's the greatest game in the world. So you look around, make sure the man that you got to your right and your left is willing to put in the work, that you're willing to put in the work, and don't cheat each other. The common thread woven through each team, and yet I have been on to win a championship, is one promise made, each man to the other. I will get my job done today. Can you make that promise every day you step on the field? That's what it takes to be great. We're going to get those jobs done today, under our watch. Let's get ready to play some ball. Hurricanes, don't mess around with Hurricanes. At least we with them, we didn't lose. Okay? So let's get ready. If you're going to wear that you better wear it like you are something. You see what I'm saying? Now let me give me that you. Give me that you. Give me that cane up. All right, Canes, let's get ready. Let's get rocking. Let's get rolling.
All right, guys, let's head back to where I told you.
Hello, this is Lacey Rice of Rice Fame Group, and I'm here talking to Coach Purnell and Dr. Coffee, the founders of the Radcliff Hurricanes, the youth in Radcliff, Kentucky. They brought Coach Tony Scott and his crew down here to Radcliff, a relatively small town in Kentucky, but they brought some celebrities with them, Hall of Famers Warren Sapp, as well as Michael Irvin. How were you able to pull that off?
It's just friendships with Tony Sanders over the years. I've been watching Tony Sanders for like 14 years when I was younger, and I always was basically a mentor underneath him, like trying to do what he does. So, you know, relationships is better than money. So I called him up, reached out to him. He said, hey, I'm gonna come down. Let's do it. Let's do it. He didn't waste no time. He wanted to do it. He loved the kids. His training is good, and he wanted to network also. So this is a perfect spot for him to set up his stuff, bring his family out, his trainers, and we good. We got it. We took care of business.
All right, and I want to correct myself. That is Coach Sands who brought his program to Radcliff, Kentucky, and he is known for training celebrities, athletes, and several famous big-time athletes. Now, tell us, how did you end up founding the Radcliff Hurricanes, and why?
Well, Radcliff Hurricanes, when I first moved here, I was a part of an organization, and you know, I just feel like I think I can do more for the community. Previous team was here, something bigger, different, more experience, more exposure. Just brought a bunch of great coaches to help us out. We got a great parents that been following us for the last 7 years, and this is what they believe of. When you want to have a football program, you want to offer a training camp, you want to offer clinics, you want to offer teaching the kids. You also want to be a part of the community. So me and my wife, we just started, you know what, we don't have any kid out here. We want to give back to the community in a big way, and this is our way of paying back the community. It's just putting on this camp like this here and giving back to the community with our program.
Okay, so this is the first year of this program, right?
No, this is our seventh year.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
for the not for the camp.
For
Yeah,
the camp,
for the
this
camp.
kind of camp is the first.
This is our
Okay.
first annual year for the camp.
Okay,
But
okay.
we already in the works, working on next year with more celebrities, more NFL players. Those guys got more connection. They came down here from all over the United States on their training, and they want to do back. They want to do it big next year. They want to bring in more celebrities, more Hall of Famers. It's going to be going down. This is the first year, but we got a lot to come. These guys already made a commitment. They're making phone calls now and getting everybody drawn in. So there's going to be some people that you never seen in Radcliff. You got to set up.
Okay. Now I heard a number that was thrown out that there were like 200 kids out here. That's a lot, especially for the first year.
You got to talk to the lady. She's the brain and everything about the numbers and all that stuff. She'll give you a hands-on spot on what everything is.
We have close to 200. We have almost 100 kids in our actual program, and then we had about 94 sign up online that's not even in our program.
Oh,
So, like
wow.
I said, so we have almost 200 out there, and like I said, half of them are not even our actual program kids. They signed up for the camp. And that's what we want to do. You don't have to be a part of Radcliff Hurricanes to be a part of something special, to have something in the community. You don't have to just cater to your own program, too. Sometimes you just reach out to the other kids. I grew up here, and when I grew up here, we had more things to do, and it seems like we've kind of like gotten away from that. And the kids got to have something to do, especially after school, during the summertime. They got to have something, and they need mentors. It's not just about activities. Have people that can talk to them, encourage them, be an example for them. That's what these children need. We have a football and a cheer program. So we try to do that across the board for boys and girls.
Okay. And when you say that you want to do, things for people outside the program, is that open for like the Fort Knox community, the Elizabethtown community, Vine Grove, and others?
Yeah, we bring in kids from Fort Knox. We partner up with Fort Knox because they don't have middle school football out there. So we catering to Fort Knox. Our program is open to anybody that want to be a part of our program. Parents, anybody. We don't discriminate anything. From wherever you want to come, you want to be a part. We got kids out here probably from Georgia, Lexington, Bowling Green. We got kids from all over Kentucky, maybe outside of Kentucky, Frankfurt out here. They just want to be a part of it. They want to come, and this is why we're here, man. This is what it's all about. Diversity, and want to have these kids have a great time. That's about it.
Okay.
We
Well,
wouldn't be able to do this, honestly, without the support, because Mayor Duval stepped up. Every year we look for the community help us, and a lot of times they do come through. So we've had a lot of support this year. We actually lost our president that we had to start this year. Me and Pernell are the owners, and we're the administrators, but we do have people that we call on to run our actual football part and run our cheer part, and we help to, to guide them. Coach Boo actually is our president this year, and he actually is helping to make sure our coaching staff is up to date, the kids are being trained well. So we bring in people all the time to help us run our program because we know we need to have that commitment and that consistency and that help. And he stepped up his game this year, and he stepped up and helped us with the football program. We have a cheer coordinator. That's what it takes, though, to run a successful program. It's not just two people. This cannot work with just us. We got to have the community support, the coaching support, the parent support, and that's what we really have this year. We appreciate that. We really appreciate that.
okay. And not only the kids, it looks like a lot of the parents are enjoying it. I see a lot of parents out here just kind of chilling and, watching, seeing what's happening.
On the way here, man. On the way here driving, we talking to each other while we driving. He's like, yo, I want to get to the kids. Michael Irvin say, hey, it's been a long time since he touched the football field. His commitment was to be there for the kids. That's his number one goal. Sapp, they're here for the children. That's their number one goal, is focus on the kids and get them together. And They here. They'll be back. Trust me, they'll be back with some more people. But their number one thing when they stepped off the plane is make sure this program look the way it is, and they want to be partners with us to grow this program until you said this is not it. This is the first year. We're gonna get it together. Next year, we're gonna take it to a bigger venue, more parking and everything. So, hey, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
It's just the beginning.
It's just the beginning. It's just the beginning.
Great things to come.
Okay. And Coach Boo, since we didn't really get to hear from you much, you know, what are some of your impressions of how things are going so far?
Oh, it's going great. We got a lot of community support. We got a lot of kids that's not even in our program. That's even better because that's exposure that we're doing great things for the community. We're not here just for our kids. We're here for any kid. Try to mentor them, get them off the streets, keep them active during the summer, and give them a goal, set a goal so they'll be a better man when they grow up, or a better woman when they grow up.
Okay. Well, here's a fact that many people probably don't know. There are 2 big events involving celebrity athletes in Kentucky, and both of them are in small towns. They're not in Louisville, they're not in Lexington. They are in Radcliff, Kentucky, and Danville, Kentucky. And Danville is smaller than Radcliff. And so, what does that say about famous people wanting to come and contribute to people in a small town?
Smaller towns get together more. They support each other more. You know, your big cities, they're about the big picture. They just go with the flow. And the smaller towns are a tight knit community, and they try to do it for everybody instead of just about me. It's about everybody. It's about we. Let's do it together.
Okay. Now I was surprised at the amount of people that are out here. I mean, there are a lot of people. I haven't shown how many people are out here yet. Some of it primarily because we are dealing with little kids.
Yeah.
But, you know, how were you able, how were the Hurricanes able to get the word out to as many people as you were able to reach?
Social media and just mainly word of mouth. You know, we passed out flyers and they passed it out through school and just through the community. Everybody comes together.
Okay. And where do you hope that this goes from your standpoint as the president?
Oh, it's going to get bigger and bigger each year. It's just the beginning. It's going to be bigger and bigger next year, and then the next year to follow it'll be even bigger. We're just starting. We're trying to plant the seeds what we did. So now we're going to grow, see where we can take it.
Okay. And I heard Coach Sands mention during his introduction, when he was talking to the athletes, that he was going to take data that they collect here and put those on recruiting websites.
Yeah, it'll be all over all your high schools and your colleges. It'll be everywhere through social media. It'll be through everybody will be exposed. They'll see all of it.
And
if you got a small town, you know, most people don't get access to your big colleges and all that. Well, this here's a platform for them to show everybody.
Okay. And so, what's the age range for this camp?
From 5 to 18.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, as we get ready,
we don't hold back. We let anybody come.
I hear that. Well, as we get ready to wrap this up, what final words would you like to say to people who might consider coming out next year?
Come on out and enjoy it. Have a good time. Like I said, it's going to be bigger next year. We'll have a bigger venue, so we'll have more access. So we got plenty of access now, so we got 2 fields, so we're going to do it all. So if you want to come out and join next year, come on. We're ready.
All right. Well, thank you, Coach Boo, and thank you, Radcliff Hurricanes.
Right. Radcliff Hurricanes.
Now I'm talking about young shakes. Chicago 2 representatives. Just James. And this for my city.
Hey, I do it for my city. Dog, I don't plan on going down. If he think I'm going down, then he gone first round. For my city. Dog, I ain't never been a chump. And if he thinking I'm a chump, watch him get his head lumped. For my city. Dog, I don't plan on going down. If he think I'm going down, then he gone first round. For my city. Dog, I ain't never been a chump. And if he thinking I'm a chump, watch him get his I will never neglect her. Bet you hear her naming like every one of my records. No, I'm not stunting, ain't no future in your frontin', right? Gotta get this money, watch me get it all night. Planet flying top flight, higher than space stations. That's why I gotta grind, cause I need it and I hate waiting.